Okay, gang, howdy. We are in module 6 right now, so here's your late Monday weekly hello check-in. We just obviously finished up our first TED Talk delivery, nonverbal physical delivery speech. I didn't get too many panicked emails, so hopefully things went well. If you didn't get it in yet, as soon as possible. The longer you wait, the more penalties you incur. So I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked yet how many submissions are in and how many are yet to come in. But if you haven't done the speech yet, if you haven't uploaded it, just please do so. And we are now moving into the next speech, which is an unbiased reporting speech. And we've got 4 weeks to work on this. So again, plenty of time, I think, to get going. What you want to be doing this week is reading chapter 4 in the textbook and obviously familiarizing yourself with the speech that's coming up. You want to have a sense of where we're going and what the purpose of this is. And this whole business of unbiased reporting is ideas, right? So if the first speech focused on the canon of delivery and maybe style, this next speech is really focusing on the canon of invention in terms of like how we're coming up with our ideas, but with a real strong emphasis on trying to get bias and like selective research kind of practices out of the way and just making a really strong case. So the first thing that you are asked to do here is to click on the link that takes you to kind of topic suggestion page. These are big themes, big kinds of ideas. So this is not a speech where you're selecting something that's already been done. You're going to be developing your own ideas. And this topic page is meant to help just generate some ideas. I would like to caution, I ran into this issue last semester. I was teaching 104, which is about like argumentation and doing some similar kinds of things in terms of research and trying to learn about good sources, not good sources, credibility, verifying things. And I found that students, when they were selecting topics, tended to go to the most social media viral kinds of things, right? Because this is the stuff that we're all kind of, encountering a lot online. And obviously that makes sense, but I want us to be trying to think about what we're doing here as different from that, right? I know all that stuff kind of bleeds into life and it's all wishy-washy and murky, but like what we're trying to do here is, in this next activity assignment, is to be thinking about bias and trying to get it out. And if your inclination for topic selection is to go with something that you have really strong emotional attachments to or against, some of the big ones last semester were police brutality, abortion, racism, right? These are the things that have been like all in the news for years now and like hot, and maybe, rightfully so, but also maybe like overdone, overexposed. And also these are deeply, deeply emotional topics that students feel very convicted about, like right out of the gate, right? From my perspective, that's kind of a deal breaker in terms of a good topic selection. Because what we want to be doing here is we want to try to find something more unique, more original, more unusual, maybe something that you've never encountered before. I would love for you to take this opportunity to learn about something more than you already do. We don't want to choose topics based on feelings that we already have or conclusions that we think we've already reached. That just is kind of like defeats the purpose, right? So try to think of this as an opportunity to explore, expand, try something new. There's all kinds of, social issues that are really important and potentially controversial that we don't talk that much about, but maybe should, right? Homelessness, we talk about homes and homelessness all the time, right? And so you might get some like think again kind of responses from me, because doing this long enough to have a pretty good sense of like topics that lead to good speeches and topics that don't. And basically it's like, can you be open-minded? Can you potentially even change your mind as you're doing your research for this task? So I'm trying to like send some flashing lights, some warning signs here, because I've been through this process many times where, you know, the things that have the biggest sort of attention and biggest kind of viral sensation phenomenon in our kind of everyday lives are the ones that we tend to just kind of go to. But I want us to be thinking very freshly and try to think about learning and try to think about going in directions maybe you've never gone before, and thinking about things that you haven't really thought about before. If you're struggling, I can come up with all kinds of ideas. I think that digital addiction, phone addiction is a major issue. I feel like obviously our food system is a disaster. And you know how things are so cheap and also so bad for us, right? Like there's a lot of talk about inflation and like fast food inflation, but this stuff was artificially cheap to begin with, right? And so, you know, the whole food system thing, obviously environmental stuff, but don't just talk about environmentalism in general or the global, you know, climate crisis. You got to kind of get specific, right? So we want to talk specifically about something as well. Again, if you're having any struggles or issues, you know, reach out and we can maybe chat about it. But I'm really eager for you guys to come up with topics that are fresh, unique to you, unique to kind of the general conversations that we have on a daily basis, where there's kind of clean, fresh snow for you to go, and there's not a lot of stuff that's already crowding in your thoughts or crowding out the kind of discourse about this thing, all right? So those are some of my suggestions, warnings, and pleas for how to think about this. Beyond that, I think we're all cut up grading-wise. Obviously, I'll be getting to the speeches pretty soon. Finishing up a writing deadline right now, so I'm a little bit behind, a few days behind on some of my grading. I have another assignment I have to get to as well. So that'll be coming this week. Obviously, there's another quiz, so make sure you do that reading and really understand what we're getting at with this business of bias and knowing how to sort of do research and cite research and so on. And I'm sure it'll be fine, right? So hope everyone's well out there. Happy Monday and have a great week. We'll talk another week. Be well.